Uh, Timing belt installation on a 1997 Mitsubishi minicab. Um, I wanted to make a complete video of this, but I kept hitting the stop button on the video, and I don't know how to edit the videos, so I just kind of like did it because I wasn't sure how to do it. But now I'm put everything back together. I do want to point out a few things that might help you out. Um, this gear right here, there's a little notch right here. You can't really see, but I went and got a paint pen that welders use and marked it right here. And there's a triangle here. Let me show you the triangle. That's a triangle. There's another mark on here that I nearly got screwed up. It's a circle. See that circle right there? There's a circle. And I thought that was the timing mark. And I was going to line that up with this timing mark here. I don't know what would have happened. But thank God I caught that, because I'm sure it would have been catastrophic. But there's two marks on here on this gear, the triangle and a circle. But I looked at the manual really closely and it said triangle to mark it up. Let me see. But they don't even say anything about the circle, what the circle's for. Well, here it is. I changed my mind. For valve clearance, it has something to do with valve clearance. Top dead center mark is a triangle. Number 3 mark is a circle mark. And this has to do with valve clearance adjustments. Let me see. So that triangle is a top dead center timing mark. And there's another mark right here we don't use for the timing belt. Timing belt inspection. So, well, here we go. It says tensioning mark. Turn over engine slowly and inspect if defects are detected. Replace the belt. Rotate engine to tensioner set mark as shown on the left. Tighten lock nut. Oh, okay. So after all that, I missed something. So the tensioner. So you set that on that mark, which would be gotta mark that. Stand by while I pause you for a second. Okay, I kind of filled that mark with yellow paint. There it is right there. So you got this mark, which is seems like while the engine's sitting in there, it's like 3 o'clock position. And then this one's closer to the 12 o'clock position. Right there. And there's your arrow on the gear. So I gotta back up. Guess I just caught myself not understanding everything, but so they call this the top dead center mark, and that right there is the tensioner set mark. So I'll have to reread that and get back to you in a second, but before I do that, I'm going to show you my other marks. Let me just change pages on me. This is the first time I've done this. So this is a mark I did. This is not a timing mark, but it's an after mark after I timed it. So let's see. Hopefully you can see there's 2 circles on the engine block, and there's 2 divots on each of the sprockets. There's an oil sprocket and a crankshaft sprocket. I can't see what you're looking at, so I'm just kind of move it around. And to make sure I'm lined up right, because it's hard to get your head down in there, is I painted the groove straight down the sprocket to make sure that they're lining up with the engine block marks. So I'm going to keep moving this around to make sure you can see what I'm saying. That's a little hack that I did to help confirm that I was lined up correctly. And there's another mark right here, a line. I kind of painted that and then painted a line going to the mark that's on the engine block over here. And I guess that's just an easier way to see that you're lined up with the true mark right here. So these are 3 sprockets you got to time, and then weave the timing belt on. Here on the actual timing belt replacement instructions, it doesn't mention anything about the tensioning mark. This is alignment mark. So that's why I just happened to catch that as I was making this video. Turn the engine clockwise until the camshaft sprocket triangle mark aligns with the mark shown on the left. This is the number 1 cylinder top dead center point. Loosen the timing belt tensioner nut. Use a straight screwdriver to loosen the spring as shown on the left. Okay, I'm actually installing this, so it's kind of reverse. Be careful not to damage the water pump case. Note, replace the water pump if it's been over 60,000 miles, and I did replace it because it was leaking, and it's about right around 60,000, it's just over 60,000 miles. I replaced the oil pump and the water pump. Remove the timing belt. And if you're going to take the oil pump off, you got to do this. This instruction right here. Note the oil pump sprocket is removed. The counterbalance shaft needs to be held in position. Remove the oil plug to the side of the block. Slide through the orifice of 8mm thick rounded screwdriver. The length of the screwdriver must be over 65mm in length. Remove the oil pump F-nut. Remove socket. Okay, so basically you have to do that first, and then you have to remove the oil pump socket. And let me show you what all that means. It took me a long time to figure out what was going on here, but I figured it out. I got on Amazon and ordered this 8mm rod. Ordered 2 of them. And there's the plug. Jeez, it's hard to get to. There's the hole where this oil plug. It looks like an oil drain plug. You take that off and you slide that in, and it should go in and hold. And you have to hold that into position because that's the harmonic balancer. So if you get that out of sync, and you run your engine, the engine's going to shake a lot and probably shake itself apart eventually. So, and there's some steps in there to make sure you got that right. But basically, I got it held in place and jacked up. So all through this procedure, I've had it locked in place. So that was kind of a weird thing that caught me off guard, got me real kind of nervous. But once I thought about it, it was fine. I don't know, this thing, I don't know. I think this head gasket's seeping oil. I might have to change this head gasket. It's not a big deal. I can do that. It's not seeping a lot of oil. And so we're all set here. So there's my new water pump right there. New tensioner. And behind this guy, behind this guy is the oil pump. But it helps if you're a rookie to draw a line from your marker all the way down to the base so you don't get parallax error in lining this up, because it's kind of a lot of work to get to this point. You got to take a lot of stuff off, and to redo it would kind of make a man mad because you didn't line it up properly. So I'm going to follow these instructions and see if I can get it back right. But here, this one scared me too. Crankshaft bolt removal. Place flywheel retaining unit as shown. Remove crankshaft bolt. I guess that's just if you need to change the crankshaft, but I'm not removing the transmission. So I thought I had to remove the transmission to line up the crankshaft or something, but that's not going to happen. And this guy right here doesn't look anything like my gear with the holes in it. Oh yeah, it does. Sorry. Yeah. So I don't have this little. I don't have to take this off. I'm not taking this off, so I don't need this tool. So I think I'm almost done with this thing. I did have oil on these covers. The bottom cover right here is kind of greasy with some sludge on it, which was from the oil pump. Seal was leaking. Hopefully that was it, because that's what I replaced. So I'm going to pause this and go put the timing belt on. Hopefully I don't accidentally